Ladies and gentlemen, step into the dimly lit living room of a small New England college house on a late Saturday night in 1966. The air is thick with cigarette smoke, the clink of ice in glasses, and the low hum of unspoken resentments ready to erupt. This is the world of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? Mike Nichols' groundbreaking directorial debut, an unflinching adaptation of Edward Albee's Tony-winning 1962 play that tore through Hollywood's production code like a hurricane. The film follows George and Martha, a middle-aged couple trapped in a toxic marriage of love, hate, illusion, and brutal honesty, who invite a younger faculty couple, Nick and Honey, for what begins as a simple nightcap but descends into psychological warfare, revelations of failure, childlessness, hypocrisy, and the devastating question: what happens when we strip away every comforting lie? Released in June 1966 in stark black and white, a bold choice in the era of Technicolor blockbusters, the film earned an astonishing 13 Academy Award nominations, every category for which it was eligible, a record matched by only a handful of films in history, and won 5 Oscars, including Best Actress for Elizabeth Taylor, Best Supporting Actress for Sandy Dennis, Cinematography, Art Direction, and Costume Design. All 4 principal actors received nominations, a rare feat that speaks to the ensemble's extraordinary power. This is not just a movie, it's a seismic event in cinema history, the first major film to use previously forbidden language, screw, goddamn, son of a bitch, and to portray marriage as something raw, ugly, and deeply human. The performances are volcanic, fueled by real-life passion. Taylor and Burton were married at the time, their volatile relationship bleeding into the roles, stage-honed precision, and fearless vulnerability. Tonight, we delve deeper into the 6 individuals from the cast list, 4 titans who carried the emotional weight, and 2 uncredited souls who added quiet authenticity. Prepare yourself. The games begin with humiliate the host, get the guests, and hump the hostess, and end with a fragile, devastating truth. Let us begin. Elizabeth Taylor, Martha. At the absolute center of this maelstrom stands Elizabeth Taylor as Martha, the loud, profane, boozy, sexually aggressive, deeply wounded Earth Mother who dominates every scene with volcanic energy and heartbreaking fragility. In 1966, Elizabeth Taylor was only 34 years old, born February 27, 1932, yet she transformed herself into a convincingly middle-aged, haggard woman in her early 50s. This was no small feat for one of the most famously beautiful women in the world. Director Mike Nichols instructed her to gain about 30 pounds. She called it one of the nicest orders she's ever been given. Wear padding, use prosthetics for facial aging, deepen her voice through lessons, and adopt a slovenly, disheveled look, matted hair, smeared makeup, and rumpled clothes. She erased the glamour of Cleopatra and National Velvet to become something raw and real. Martha is a force. Crude. What a dump! Emasculating, alcoholic, and viciously intelligent. She calls herself the Earth Mother and declares, "I'm loud and I'm vulgar, and I wear the pants in the house because somebody's got to. But I am not a monster." Yet beneath the rage lies profound pain, childlessness, a failed academic career, disappointment in her husband George, and a desperate clinging to illusions, their imaginary son. Taylor's performance is a masterclass in contrasts. She roars insults one moment, then dissolves into sobs the next. The famous opening scene, stumbling home drunk, quoting Betty Davis's "What a dump," sets the tone. Her seduction attempt on Nick, her hysterical breakdowns, and the final quiet admission, "I am George. I am afraid of Virginia Woolf, of living without illusions," are devastating. Critics were stunned. The Hollywood Reporter declared she had reached the fullest of her powers as Martha, noting how her beauty had often obscured her acting talent. She fought fiercely for the role, knowing it was her chance to prove she was more than a starlet. This performance earned her 2nd Academy Award for Best Actress. She famously dismissed her first for Butterfield 8 as sentimental, plus BAFTA, New York Film Critics Circle, National Board of Review, and more. Many consider it her greatest work, raw, fearless, and profoundly compassionate beneath the venom. Taylor's life was legendary. Child star, 8 marriages, twice to Burton, Cleopatra scandals, humanitarian work, AIDS activism, and health struggles. But Martha remains her pinnacle, a role that silenced doubters and redefined her legacy as a serious actress. When she says, "God damn you," or weeps over the death of their son, we feel every scar. Elizabeth Taylor didn't play Martha, she inhabited her, and in doing so, gave us one of cinema's most unforgettable portraits of a woman fighting to survive her own life. Richard Burton, George. Opposite Taylor's explosive Martha is Richard Burton as George, the quiet, intellectual, bitterly resigned associate professor of history who absorbs abuse like a sponge, then strikes back with surgical precision. Burton was 40 to 41 years old during filming, born November 10, 1925, in Wales to a coal miner father. A Shakespearean titan, famous for Hamlet, he had already earned 7 Oscar nominations without a win, a tragic oversight. His rich Welsh baritone, piercing eyes, and intellectual gravitas made him perfect for George, a man whose academic promise has curdled into mediocrity, trapped in a marriage of mutual destruction. George is passive-aggressive genius. He drinks, recites Latin, and plays cruel games, humiliate the host, get the guests, to dismantle the younger couple while exposing his own failures. Yet he is the stronger one. His final killing of their imaginary son is an act of mercy, forcing Martha to face reality. The 6-minute monologue about the grandest day of my youth, a boy who accidentally shoots his parents, is one of cinema's greatest. Burton's tender, trembling delivery captures unspoken grief. Mike Nichols loved the scene so much, he refused to reshoot it despite poor lighting. Burton earned his 5th Best Actor Oscar nomination, previous for Beckett, the spy who came in from the cold, plus BAFTA and Golden Globe nods. Critics called it his finest screen work. Subtle menace, quiet power, and devastating tenderness. His real-life volatility with Taylor, they were in their first marriage during filming, added authenticity. Their arguments on set often mirrored the script. Burton's career was epic. Stage triumphs, Hollywood blockbusters, 5 marriages, 2 to Taylor, alcoholism, and 3 children, including actress Kate Burton. He died tragically in 1984 at 58 from a cerebral hemorrhage. Never winning the Oscar many felt he deserved. Taylor herself said he should have won for George. Yet as George, Burton delivered a portrait of quiet strength amid mediocrity. A man who destroys illusions to save what remains of love. When he sings softly at the end, "Who's afraid of Virginia Woolf?" the room feels forever changed. George Segal, Nick, the ambitious intruder. George Segal as Nick, the handsome, career-driven young biology professor who arrives full of confidence and leaves shattered. Segal was 32 years old in 1966, born February 13, 1934. A stage-trained actor with early acclaim in Ship of Fools and King Rat, he brought charisma, intelligence, and vulnerability. Nick starts arrogant, expecting faculty connections, then crumbles under George and Martha's onslaught. He is exposed as hypocritical, adultery, impotence in crisis, his stud facade destroyed. Segal holds his own against legends. His growing disgust, drunken confessions, and final quiet exit are perfect. He earned his only Oscar nomination, Best Supporting Actor, plus Golden Globe nod. This role launched his 1970s stardom, A Touch of Class, Golden Globe win, California Split, Fun with Dick and Jane. Later beloved on TV, Just Shoot Me, The Goldbergs, he was also a banjo virtuoso. Segal died in 2021 at 87. As Nick, Segal represents the younger generation's illusions, ambition crushed by older truths. His arc is the film's mirror. Innocence meets reality and breaks. Sandy Dennis, Honey, the fragile casualty. Sandy Dennis is Honey, Nick's neurotic, childlike wife who unravels spectacularly. Dennis was 29 years old, born April 27, 1937, Nebraska. A double Tony winner, 1,000 Clowns, 1963, Any Wednesday, 1964. She brought quirky mannerisms, wide-eyed vulnerability, and emotional depth to her major film breakthrough. Honey is seemingly sweet, giggling, drinking excessively, hiding secrets, secret abortion, fear of motherhood. Her hysteria peaks in vomiting, breakdowns, make 'em stop, and revelations. Dennis's tics and sudden shifts from comic to tragic make her unforgettable. She won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. Mike Nichols accepted. She was filming elsewhere. Plus, Golden Globe nomination. Critics praised her for matching the Titans. Dennis starred in Up the Down Staircase, Moscow Film Festival Best Actress, The Out-of-Towners, but battled health issues, ovarian cancer, dying in 1992 at 54. She suffered a miscarriage during filming. As Honey, she gave one of cinema's most poignant portraits of fragility, comic terror turning to profound sadness. Agnes Flanagan and Frank Flanagan, Roadhouse waitress and Roadhouse manager, uncredited. Finally, the quiet witnesses. Agnes Flanagan as the Roadhouse waitress and Frank Flanagan as the Roadhouse manager. These brief late-night Roadhouse scenes provide stark contrast, ordinary people serving drinks amid the main character's chaos. Agnes, Elizabeth Taylor's personal hairdresser on set, serves silently. Frank, the film's chief gaffer/lighting technician, handles a few lines as the owner. Real-life husband and wife, they added authentic texture, normalcy witnessing dysfunction. Uncredited but essential, they ground the surreal intensity in everyday reality. As the night ends and George cradles a fragile Martha, singing the nursery rhyme that gives the film its title, we are left with silence and questions. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf is a mirror to our illusions, our marriages, our fears. Taylor and Burton's volcanic chemistry, Segal and Dennis's shattered innocence, the quiet Flanagans, all remind us that truth can destroy and sometimes heal. 60 years later, it still stings, still moves, still challenges. Thank you for this deeper journey. Rewatch it, feel the weight of every word, every silence, and remember, sometimes the scariest thing is living without the big bad wolf of illusion. The games are over, but the echoes remain.